Hello, everyone, and welcome to Out of the Boxes Tech Tuesday. We thank you for joining us for today's webinar reviewing the latest in QuickBooks Online Updates presented by Out of the Box in partnership with Intuit. Today's presenter is Leah Hartman, Principal Professional Services Consultant at Intuit. Leah specializes in QuickBooks Online Accountant, and QuickBooks Online Payroll. Leah has spoken at a number of Out of the Boxes webinars, and she's always a favorite, although this is her last time with us, so we will want to thank her. But her expertise is unrivaled, so we encourage you to engage her with any questions you might have as we go through today's presentation. As for me, my name is Jeanette Schwartz-Rattan. I am Director of Marketing here at Out of the Box, and I'll be your moderator for the day. Just a few housekeeping items before we get started. This session is being recorded, so you don't have to give yourself carpal tunnel syndrome taking all the notes. The recording will be posted to our YouTube channel, to our website, and shared with you via follow-up email, probably tomorrow morning, so you can review it then or share it with your colleagues if you really want to dive in together. We have a lot of content to get through today, but we are trying to reserve about 10 minutes for questions. But if there's anything you want to address in real time, any questions you have about anything that Leah is reviewing, feel free to chat your questions to us in the Q&A box, and we will get to those just as quickly as we can. A little bit about Out of the Box, if you haven't joined us before, or maybe it's been a little while. Here at Out of the Box, our mission is to empower entrepreneurs with the QuickBooks-based financial tools, services, and insights they need to thrive. Out of the Box is the premier choice for QuickBooks accounting services, boasting over 30 years of experience and a track record of exceeding the expectations of more than 50,000 satisfied clients. Our comprehensive accounting solutions save you time and money while providing you with the financial accuracy, security, and insights necessary to grow your business. As an elite QuickBooks solution provider, we are able to offer you exclusive discounts and pricing, so please be sure to connect with us before purchasing your QuickBooks solutions. And with that, I believe I have covered all of our housekeeping items, so I'm going to hand it off to Leah to get us started.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeanette. And thanks everyone for letting me crash your party. I'm going to jump into a few slides here. If you guys have been here before, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. Thank you for joining. The way that I like to do things is I have a couple slides here that I kind of walk through. And if it's not anything I can show in the product, it'll be a fun slide. Otherwise, I'll be in the product to share with you guys the updates that we're going to be discussing today. As Jeanette mentioned, questions, please feel free to throw them in the Q&A. I'd be more than happy to answer those as we move through or towards the end. But today I've got some updates. A lot of it's going to be payroll, and we are going to be talking a little bit about the new product that we launched late last month. If you haven't heard about it, it's an exciting time for Intuit. So we're just going to jump in and get started. I'm going to chunk this out by QuickBooks Online Updates, then payroll related updates, and then we'll move into the new product that we launched. So first things first, I want to talk a little bit about some updates that we have for QuickBooks Online. The first one is, if you haven't seen this yet, we do have a shipping manager that is now available or integrated with QuickBooks Online. And so there's no need to subscribe to a new or separate shipping tool now. You can now start to ship directly through QuickBooks. Now, before I get super into this, let me just jump into the product here really quick, because this might be confusing for some folks. Bear with me just a moment. I forgot to load up one of my QuickBooks Online files, and it keeps signing me. I don't know why it keeps doing this morning. It must not be my best friend for Tuesday. Sorry guys, bear with me 1 second while I log in. The reason why I want to show you guys where the shipping manager is because it's kind of in a funky spot, personally, in my honest opinion. If you're not utilizing like a specific feature in QuickBooks, you wouldn't think to look here. So I wanted to at least just show you where it was. Anyone who has like the like a plus or advanced option, they have the opportunity to utilize this. So if we were to pretend like this is, a small business, QuickBooks Online, this is Dunder Mifflin. If we go to the left-hand navigation bar here, it's under Commerce on the left-hand side. So if we click on Commerce, or if we hover our mouse over Commerce, you'll notice that shipping lives here. Now, commerce, the word commerce is specific to integrating like e-commerce type businesses into QuickBooks Online, which has been around for a bit of time. You're not seeing my screen. Jeanette, can you see my screen okay?
Yes, I can see everything.
Oh, interesting.
That's
Okay, let me try to
strange.
stop the share and try again, because there's several people who say they can't see.
Yeah, that's strange.
How about now? Should be able to see QuickBooks Online.
I'm seeing it. Okay, we're getting some thumbs up from the
Okay,
audience.
awesome.
Okay.
Sorry, guys, I don't know what happened, but thank you for letting me know. All right, so just to backtrack for just a second, left-hand navigation bar, if we click on the commerce option here down towards the bottom, you've got a couple different features here. Shipping is what we're basically going to be talking about right this second. Simplify your shipping if you would like to start working through utilizing. We use a third party called ShipStation that you can work through here. What I was trying to say earlier was you don't have to utilize the commerce piece in order to utilize the shipping. So if I were to come back to the overview tab for commerce, this does allow for you to connect sales channels to QuickBooks Online. Now it's very few currently that exist, and this has been out for quite a bit of time. It's not very well spoken about, I would say personally, just because it only does integrate like 3 sales channels. I think actually it might be 4 now. Amazon, eBay, Shopify, and I believe Etsy is either here or on its way. So if you're not using any of those websites, the commerce piece might not be of value necessarily for you. It is showing. Okay, Etsy is now showing. So the reason why I say may or may not show is because we like to announce things and then I don't see them in the QBO files just yet. So I'm like, maybe we pre-announced them, or maybe they're slowly rolling out, so not everybody sees it. So apologies if that's confusing. I do like to vet the things that I share with folks. Unfortunately, that was the one thing I didn't, so that's on me. But anywho, so sales channels, not a requirement, but you can go to the shipping here and you can connect. You can click on buy shipping labels. You have the option on that invoice now. If you have this turned on, you can turn it off as well. So it does kind of give you the steps on how you can do that. I just wanted to be able to share with you where it's physically located, if you guys were interested in checking it out. Ship engine, that's what it's called. Now, I will say you guys will get a copy of these slides. These are all links that you can utilize to learn more if you're interested. So not to worry, you guys will get a copy of all of these fancy articles. It walks you through how to create a shipping label, how to manage and view your purchase labels, as well as disconnecting if you choose it's not something you want to utilize for the future. Okay, now, next up we have bookmarks. So you guys probably have already seen this, but you're no longer restricted to saving only certain QuickBooks items on the bookmark page. Any page that has the left navigation bar visible can now be saved. So rather than clicking multiple times to get to what you need, you'll be able to utilize the bookmark. If you haven't seen this already, what I'm referring to is this fancy little bookmark this page option under the bookmarks in the left-hand navigation bar. For example, if I wanted to bookmark the shipping labels, I can simply click bookmark this page. I'd want to call it something. So in this case, I'm going to call it shipping. So now I'll have this linked anytime I'd like, and this is specific to the user. So if you're an owner of a business and you log in and you create your bookmarks and you have, let's say, a manager who also logs in, this will not affect the other users within the QuickBooks Online company. This will only affect your specific user. So you also have an opportunity to kind of figure out where you would like your bookmarks to show. You can also customize your menu, as well as check boxes of specific things that might be applicable to your business directly through here. Again, rather than just selecting some of these preset bookmarks, you can actually go in the product and bookmark your own options. Make sure you give it a name that makes sense to you, and then it'll kind of go through the motions there for you. So it's nothing crazy, but I definitely like it because I know folks love to be able to customize their left-hand navigation bars. All right, last but certainly not least, in regards to QuickBooks Online updates specifically, we also have a new user interface for the advanced search transactions module. So if you're familiar with QuickBooks Online, you've been around for a hot minute, we have two search functions. The first one is if you're in QuickBooks Online directly, there's the magnifying glass in the upper right-hand corner, and you have an opportunity to utilize this to make searches within the product. It also does a couple other things. It holds the last things that you've researched most recently. So recent searches, I was looking for something in here. What it exactly, I don't remember. But it also does offer up some recent transactions. So if you looked up a recent transaction for a particular person, or created, I should say, it'll show you in order the most recent. And if you need to view more, you can click on the little option down here. You can also utilize this search bar to search for things. So if I'm searching for a customer or an employee, I can certainly do that by typing in their name. Oh, maybe not employees, but we can type in amounts. So like if I wanted to do 12, 17, 25, I guess that wasn't one, but anywho, you can type in things to search for. So addresses, phone numbers, amounts, names, I guess customers and vendors. But you can do all of that good stuff. You can also click on the go to transaction search or hit the enter button, right? So like if I wanted to do a deeper, more advanced search, go to transaction search or hit enter. I think the biggest thing for me to get out of is to hit the enter button anytime I'm trying to search for something. Because if I'm doing a multiple search in here, it's just a matter of typing in the first part and then hitting the space bar and then typing in the next part. For example, if I'm looking for invoice number 1018 and then I'm looking for $60,000, right? I'm not hitting enter. But transaction search, this has finally been updated. This has been a long time coming. You have a lot more options at the top here to utilize for search functionality and filtering. So if you want to do a specific date range, you can select that here. Transaction types, it gives you a breakdown of basically any transaction type that exists within the product. You have an opportunity to search for. If you have a specific reference number you'd like, you can also specifically look for a contact. Hey, I'm looking for this particular contact, or, customer, vendor, employee. Amounts. This also gives you an opportunity to now do greater than, less than, equal, greater than or equal, between certain amounts, as well as the opportunity to search for credit memo contains. So I know a lot of folks use the memo option as an opportunity to write things or descriptions. You can now search for those as well. From an additional perspective of filtering, you can also try to search for a description as well as products and services, different classes and locations, as well as accounts, fairly common things that you can search for, as well as an opportunity to kind of customize the columns here. to fit the needs of your business. So if you're looking for balances or you want to be able to see the memos directly here, you'll have an opportunity to say the last time that it was modified, I'd like to see that, as well as a maximum of 100 transactions per page on the advanced search bar. So nothing super crazy in the sense that, like, yes, advanced search has existed, but just a few enhancements to make it a little bit easier for folks that might need to look for something very specific. Okay. So the next thing I want to move into is some payroll updates before we move into our new launched product. So QuickBooks Online Payroll actually has quite a few pretty major updates. And so I want to make sure that we're all on the same page as far as what these are. So a little bit of a fun one. We now offer an organized and company structure in QuickBooks Online. So if you want to create an organization chart within the online payroll product, you are now able to do so. If we were to go back to QuickBooks here really quick, payroll, you should be able to access the org chart a couple different ways here, just letting it load for a second. But if we go to the employee section at the top, you'll notice here that there's two options now. There's a list option and then there's an org chart option. If I were to click on org chart, I would be able to get started on creating, who is the manager, or at least creating job titles. Who do they report to? What are their job titles? And then you can also go in and make changes for those particular org charts as well. The good news is if you have any not clients, but if you have any employees like that are utilizing the workforce application, either they're tracking time through the workforce app or they're just managing their pay stubs, they'll be able to see that organizational chart directly through that application as well. So whatever is applicable to them, essentially. So that's an opportunity for those informations to get kind of pushed into the workforce information webpage, depending on that employee's profile and all that good stuff. In addition, I'm going to skip a few slides here. In addition, we also have the employees are now able to edit their direct deposit information directly into the QuickBooks Workforce application. And so before I jump any further, I want to show you what the Workforce app looks like. So workforce.intuit.com. I'll say there's two different ways that you can access the Workforce app. So if I'm an employee of a business who's using QuickBooks Online Payroll, this is one way that I would sign in. It's on the web browser, right? So whether it's a web browser on my cell phone, tablet, or computer, I can log in. So I have so many different logins for so many different test stuff, but let me sign in here really quick. It's gonna MFA me, of course. Gotta love it. Okay. Alrighty. So this is the website version of Workforce. So this allows for employees who have access to, so when you're going to invite an employee to the Workforce app, it kind of walks you through those steps when you're adding a new employee in the payroll profile. And this is what the website would look like if we were on a web page. Now, good news, as you can see here, if you're looking to actually physically track time, you can both access pay stubs, request time off, and track time through the application, which is either going to be on Google Play or Apple iStore. And so those are going to be, it's kind of tricky because it's a little bit wonky if you're on the web browser as of right now, but it's going to change very soon. But if you want to do all of it there, you can do it on the mobile application. So track time, GPS locations if you're doing the time tracking piece with payroll, as well as being able to request time off and then being able to see pay stubs. The only thing you can't do on the mobile app right now is update direct deposit information. You have to do it on the website right now. So if you go to profile on the left-hand side, You'll be able to modify direct deposit under paycheck preferences. Because I am working in a test company that doesn't have direct deposit turned on, you cannot see it here, but ultimately the payment method would be the direct deposit option. And then if Pam wanted to come and update her direct deposit, she could do it directly through here. So there's just a couple differences when working in the app versus the web browser, but I just wanted to at least let you guys be aware. And the slide does also just kindly mention it down here. Make sure you're enabled for this employee to change their direct deposit online. So if we're in QuickBooks Online, I'll show you where that's at, the enablement for workforce. And then employees can edit their information for direct deposit, but it can't be through the app at this time. It has to be through the web. So try to make sure I'm clear on that piece. But if we go back to our employee list, and let's say, for example, like if I wanted to invite Jim here, it says here pay and tax documents is active. So he has an opportunity to utilize the workforce application. I am currently on QuickBooks Online Payroll Elite, which is the highest version of our payroll service, which also comes with QB Time. So if I wanted him to also be able to track his time, I would invite him and make sure both of those are active in order for him to see all of the features kind of quote unquote unlocked in the mobile application. So at this time, Jim can only access his pay stubs and his tax documents, whether it's through the mobile application or on the website. He won't be able to track his time. He's not a time tracker in this particular example, so that's why he's not invited as a time tracker. So just wanted to share that with you guys. When you're going to create a new employee, it will walk you through the process of either giving them access to workforce off the cuff with their first name, last name, and email here. And this actually requires the employee, the new hire, to fill out their W-4 information directly through the application so that the employer is not having to do it themselves. Or if you want to uncheck the box where the employer still has to manually fill this information out, you just simply uncheck the box and then add the employee manually. And so then the employer is having to fill it out. So we call that self setup for an employee. And so just kind of helps with that whole automated piece for it. So anywho, moving along. Let's jump back a slide here. I want to talk a little bit about some changes that are coming. If you haven't seen this already for QuickBooks Online Payroll, this might, if you're not using our payroll services, this will not apply to you, but I want to make sure we're all very clear. This is a big change, and I want to make sure that everyone understands what's happening. And if there is something for you to be aware of, that you are aware of it. So if you are using QuickBooks Online Payroll and you have automated taxes turned on, and when I mean automated taxes, I am referring to the setting. If we go to the gear icon in the upper right-hand corner and go to payroll settings, this is just the normal way that I go and look at this. There's a couple different spots that you can find this, this icon to get to the setting here, but it's called taxes and forms. If you have this automated where you say, hey, Intuit, I would like for you to automatically pay my taxes and file my forms based on the due dates that I've selected, then we will automatically do that for you on your behalf. We are now changing our method if you have this turned on, automation turned on. If you have this turned on, we are changing how we're withholding the taxes. We're essentially starting tax impounding. If you're familiar with that, that means that we are now going to start withholding taxes every time you run a payroll based on the payroll details, rather than what we used to do, which is just take a chunk of money a couple days before the due date, which is the full amount of the taxes, and then send it off to the IRS or the state. And the reason why we're doing this is because everyone else in the industry is doing the exact same thing, and mitigating the unnecessary NSFs, right? Folks that don't have enough money in their bank accounts when we go to take that money for the tax impounding. And so this link that I have clicked on walks you through very clearly which states that this is currently affecting and who we're going to be changing moving forward for existing customers. So this is not necessarily for you guys to get a big breakdown of who is currently affecting or who it's not. At the end of the day, if you don't have automated taxes turned on, this doesn't apply to you, you can move on. If you do have automated taxes turned on and you have not gotten a notification via email about this, and you have not physically gone into QBO to verbally say, yes, I agree to this, it will not apply to you. Essentially what we've done is we've notified 11 states, existing customers who employ their entire workforce in the following 11 states. So if you have multiple states, probably not affected yet. And if you were not notified, you are not affected yet. But by January, we will most likely, before January, I should say, we're going to take place for changing the remaining customers in other states to have automated taxes enabled. So keep a lookout for emails notifications, because it will require you to go into QBO and manually say, yes, I agree to this change before we physically do that. If you do not, if you do not acknowledge that this change is coming, again, if you have automated taxes turned on, if you do not acknowledge this change before January 1st, we will turn automated taxes off for your company. So just keep that in mind. If you want us to continue to automatically pay those taxes for you, if you have that turned on, you will need to make sure you make that acknowledgement before the deadline. And the emails that we send out will be the perfect timing of what that will tell you. This has already changed once, so just keep that in mind. If you are associated with the those 11 states, you should have already gotten a notification. You should have already been notified. You should have already acknowledged that the change is happening. And if you don't acknowledge that the change happened or before the January 1st deadline, then we will turn automated taxes off, which means you will be responsible for making those changes and payments and all that good stuff.
Leah, we did have a quick question. Kelly's asking if the client is currently a semi-weekly depositor, there isn't any change. Is that correct?
Shouldn't be, because my assumption to that is that they get taxes withheld after every payroll already. So there shouldn't be a change in semi-weekly depositors, but just think of this as we're no longer going to be, especially for those that are like monthly or even quarterly, we're going to be taking taxes out every paycheck now.
Got it. Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep, of course. So if you guys have, if you're running a payroll for let's say this Friday, it's 5 employees direct deposits are going to get taken out, and then whatever taxes that are going to be due or owed based off that payroll that got run, those taxes will be held pretty much immediately thereafter. So and again, I just want to emphasize this only applies to those that have automated forms and taxes turned on. If you are manually paying your taxes outside of our system, this does not apply to you. Please feel free to continue doing what you're doing and no stress. Don't worry about it. Good news, this article will constantly be updated as things change. So once you guys get a copy of the slides that Jeanette will so kindly give you, make sure to click on the Learn More link here on this particular slide so that you can keep that ready. So, and it's the primary administrator of the file that will get notified and will be prompted to acknowledge this change before we actually make the change. So we're not actually going to be automatically changing people's tax, like we're not just going to be like, all right, we're going to start taking out taxes now. You have to physically acknowledge in the product in order for us to continue moving forward. And if you don't acknowledge it before the deadline on the emails that you'll get, it will automatically turn it off. So we just want to be protective of folks, and we understand that's a big change for some. So that's a big deal. Moving on. I've run into this a couple times and I think this is pretty cool. But unfortunately, since I don't run consistent payroll in fake companies, I don't see this much, but I think this could be pretty cool. We now have an anomaly detector inside QuickBooks Online Payroll. So let's say, for example, you have regular hours that get input for employees on a weekly, bi-weekly basis. If there's something that doesn't look right, or it's not within a typical range, and again, the ranges are going to change as you continue to use the product, but if something doesn't look right, it will kind of auto flag it here. For example, you'll see in this screenshot, we've got two little exclamation points saying, hey, this is different from, in this example, Ryan's typical range of hours. Does this look right? And then you can click on the little review option in the bottom right-hand corner. You can either skip it or you can go and review them. But at the end of the day, if they're seeing more abnormal hours, then it'll flag it saying, hey, does this look right? I'll never forget, I was running a fake payroll for a bi-weekly employee and I put in like 100 hours under regular. And they're like, hey, that doesn't make sense. Are you sure that's correct? So it's just kind of saying, hey guys, does this look proper to you? And if it does, please continue to move forward. It is not going to stop you at any point in time to run payroll. It is active by default. This feature, you can turn it off at any time in your payroll settings. So you do not have to utilize this. And then this will only apply at this time to payroll payments made for pay type regular hours. So if you look at the column regular hours, it only applies to that particular column at this time. It does not apply to OT or paid time off, bonus, anything like that. It's just going to apply to the regular hours column for this moment in time. Awesome. And then before we get into cost allocations for payroll, I'm going to just simply show you that you can now customize your column orders in the payroll, the pay employees section of payroll as well. So if we go into payroll setting, actually get out of payroll settings, and if you click run payroll, that's what I was trying to say, run payroll, we have the opportunity to move columns around now for easier, for visually easier times for folks. And so if you see here, I've got my overtime option, and then I've got the 6 dots that you see here. If I just hold my mouse down and you see the little hand grabs it, you can now move these columns around to your liking. So if you would rather see like the project closer, the class, maybe you want to see cash tips over here, you can now kind of move things around to your liking. There's also a customization table available. So let's say, for example, I don't want to see project, I don't want to see cash tips, I don't want to see pay method. You can get rid of anything that doesn't apply to you at this time. Keep in mind that these are all pay types that have been added to an employee that's listed in here. So that's why I'm seeing all of those. But you can customize the table to your liking if you so choose. So that's also something that's kind of new. So nothing super crazy, but helpful, especially when you're trying to get payroll cranked out quickly. Okay. Last but certainly not least, before we jump into Intuit Enterprise Suite, I do want to share with you guys, hopefully you've seen this already, and if you haven't, I'm excited to share with you that we now have the ability to do payroll cost allocation for robust profit and loss insights. So this is only available in premium and elite customers. You can now easily track payroll costs by customer, project, and or class. And you can assign multiple classes per project to a single employee within a given pay period for any wage item. And we've also made enhancements to this already, bonus, but I wanted to share with you guys that for the longest time, I've been with this company for 13 years now. Oops, that's the wrong thing. And folks have been asking and begging for this for such a long time, and I'm excited to announce that the ability to do cost allocations is now available. So for example, QuickBooks Online Payroll only allowed for 1 class per employee. You can now break out classes, break it down by projects, and do multiple classes per employee as needed. So again, Premium and Elite Payroll offers these. You'll see this little button that says New in the upper left in your payday. If I click Edit Classes and Projects, I just want to share with you guys kind of what this looks like if it was more of a manual process. For example, I have 3 employees listed here. And yes, salary still shows up as an opportunity to cost allocate as well. But I have Pam listed here. She's an hourly employee. And so if I wanted to say I have a regular pay type for, let's say, 25 hours, I can specify a class, and then I can specify a project that she was associated with. And if I wanted to add more, I can simply just click the little plus sign under regular pay, and then I can continue to add hours to equal up the hours that are on her paycheck. If there's different allocated costs that need to go to different options here, you can select. You can see hourly 50. She has 2 different hourly pay types. Paid time off, sick, and then bonus, and then being able to allocate according. So if I wanted to say, okay, 25 hours of this biweekly paycheck went to Blue Cross Blue Shield. Now I can say 15 hours of this can go to the proper class that's associated with this particular project, which was project 1. So you'll be able to see those and then hit confirm, and then those cost allocations will work based off what is listed here. From an hourly, that's an hourly example. From a salary perspective, you can also cost allocate, but it is based off of a percentage rather than an hour amount. For example, here, Michael Scott has 100% of his salary currently located or classed to a class and not yet a project, but you can. And then you can simply click the plus sign and then change the percentages based off of the work that's been done. Now that's from a more manual perspective. If you are currently working with QuickBooks Time as well, so you have the premium or elite version of payroll, any of the cost allocations that come from QuickBooks Time will automatically be pushed into here. So if you have someone who's tracking time against their classes and their projects already, and the time's been approved, then those cost allocations will automatically push into the payroll. You will not have to manually enter it. It will automatically show up. You can click on the button that I already showed you, edit classes and projects, and whatever comes through QuickBooks Time will automatically generate, and you'll see it listed here to review and make sure that it's all correct. So that's the benefit of utilizing the QuickBooks Time feature.
We do have one quick question, Leah, from Tatiana. I have a prevailing wage job. How do I enter those hours correctly?
That's a great question. I don't know if that's something that we can identify here on this call. Because to my knowledge, we don't technically support prevailing wages, but we'll have to take that one offline. And Jeanette, if you want to reach out to me to get some clarification on that, please feel free to do so.
Absolutely, will do.
Cool, thanks. Okay, so that's it for payroll updates that I wanted to share with y'all that's been happening. And actually, I was thankful I was able to do the last 4 months, including October's updates as well. So those are the latest and greatest updates that we have for our QuickBooks Online product. Next, I want to move into our launched product, which is called Intuit Enterprise Suite. And I do have a couple slides I want to share as well as a video before I do any demoing. So let me just stop my share really quick and make sure I have my audio shared. Let me try this again. Share sound. Okay. So we are excited to announce, hopefully you guys have heard about this. Hopefully you guys have heard about this already, and this isn't something like super brand new to you, but let me enter full screen here. But I also have a little link here for learn more. This will take you to our website if you're interested in learning more after today's call. But basically what we've done is it is a new cloud-based multi-entity, multi-dimensional platform that enhances productivity and profitability for businesses with complex needs. Growing businesses need intuitive tools to help them manage powerful multi-entity accounting, workflows, and dimensional reporting, while streamlining operations to drive efficiencies and allow continued scaling. Intuit Enterprise Suite, or what we've called IES, shows our investment in building seamless platform solutions that meet all these needs and goals. It is our most powerful enterprise suite designed to bring the best that Intuit has to offer to our most sophisticated customers through one end-to-end solution supported by a close partnership and AI intelligence, all at a price that disrupts what's currently available on the market. It drives real business value by increasing their profitability, productivity, and efficiency, which allows them to scale seamlessly, them being you. What's most exciting, we've never been able to offer this type of product before, and it's something our customers have been asking for a long time. So instead of attaching separate products to help run every aspect of the business, we'll curate a full ecosystem solution into one platform that addresses these needs together, managing financials, their workforce, their money in, money out, and so on. We've recognized the deep complexity that mid-market companies deal with on a daily basis, and IES helps solve for this. So rather than using disjointed applications in multiple places used by different teams, we now have a hub that solves for all of the business's needs in one place. IES has reporting tools, customer spreadsheets, security, compliance, and payroll. And as demonstrated by this image, it is all connected and intertwined. Now, this is going to be powered, Intuit Enterprise Suites is going to be the name of the product. It is powered by QuickBooks. And when I say QuickBooks, I'm talking about QuickBooks Online. This is not powered by desktop QuickBooks. So this is still cloud-based. This is still online. It very much looks just like QBO with a few bells and whistles added to it. And this is our first iteration of this product. So this is not the end all be all final product. If you've been around for a while, you know QuickBooks Online starts small with features and then we work our way up. So this is just the first iteration that we have launched or announced to the market. So if we were to take a closer look at the comparison between our current online offer and our highest tier, which is QuickBooks Online Advanced, with the new robust platform offering, we'll provide a quick hit view of where the software currently stands. So number one, multi-entity accounting and financial management. So there's a single login where you can manage two-level hierarchies, a parent company which can have up to 50 entities, which I will give you guys a little quick look of what that would look like, because I will jump into an IES demonstration and show you a little bit about that. Intercompany transactions and eliminations with our spreadsheet sync tool. That's also another benefit to having IES. Dimensions. So with Advanced, QuickBooks Online Advanced, currently you can only have one level of classes. With IES, you can create 5 custom dimensions, technically 4, with unlimited values plus the class tracking, which was technically 5. So that could be 5 level of hierarchies for reporting or for tracking AR and AP. We also have our project financials, so tracking project profitability, labor costs using our payroll service, assigning tasks to users. That's all pretty much available now inside Advanced. What is new or available in the Enterprise Suite option is some change order management feature functionality that we've added, also as well as a predefined role for a project manager, as well as new reports that are available exclusively for IES, not available in any other version of QBO, which I will show you guys here in just a moment what those are. And then, as I had kind of already mentioned, role-based access. So not only are we dealing with the role-based access that Advanced offers, but we also have some additional role-based users or preset roles that have been created specific for IES for that secured feeling of making sure that people are only accessing what they're supposed to inside the product. And so as you can see, we're creating a platform that truly supports increasingly complex businesses. So now I would like to take a moment to share with you guys, it's about a 10-minute video that kind of shows you some of the feature sets that I'm about to show you in real life of what this product can currently do. So I'm gonna play the video and be right back.
Meet Priya, the CFO at Rising Building, a construction firm that has multiple corporate entities, over 10 locations, multiple lines of business, and 40 employees, as well as 25 million annual revenue. Priya recently selected the Intuit Enterprise Suite, and an onboarding specialist helped set Rising Building up and customize the experience. Rising Building uses our entire suite, including FMS, bill pay, payments, MailChimp, and HCM. They also connect their construction project management software. Let me show you how it looks. As soon as Priya logs into IES, she immediately notices an experts panel on the right of her screen. This shows her upcoming appointments as well as a list of experts her team can connect with at any time for high-touch account management and customer success support. She also notices a personalized dashboard that is pre-populated with the top construction KPIs, such as project expenses, project progress, and unbilled charges, as well as the most common financial KPIs relevant to her role as the CFO, such as P&L overview, cash flow, and quick ratio, providing her with the most relevant insights to stay on top of the financial health of her company right at her fingertips. If she notices an anomaly and needs to dig in, she can drill down to the underlying report directly from the KPI. Or she can navigate to the reporting center and dig into one of the reports under the recommended for you section, such as committed costs by project, estimates versus actuals, and cost to complete. Before IAS, Priya's team had to spend countless hours every month managing, accounting for, and reporting on all the different entities within their organization. This involved many clicks throughout the day, just navigating between the entities, interrupting her team's workflow and forcing them to context switch just to get to the appropriate company. With IES, her team can easily jump between companies using the company switching tool, saving hundreds of clicks a day and keeping her team focused and on task. Anytime there was a new user added, a change in scope, or offboarding of employees, her team would need to go into each entity as well as their payroll, payments, and bill pay tools to change the user permissions, one by one, opening them up to fraud risk should they forget to remove access in one of the entities for former employees. With IAS, they can manage user access across all the related entities from a single user management panel, thereby significantly mitigating risk and allowing for the streamlined separation of duties across all their entities for different user roles like AP, AR, payroll manager, and others. The nature of Priya's business often requires one company to pay bills on behalf of the group, which her team then needs to keep meticulous track of in Excel for month-end reconciliation, where they will then go into each related company and post their respective portion of each of these bills. This process is tedious, manual, and extremely prone to user error, which is why the intercompany journal entry in IES is going to be a game changer for Priya's organization, allowing her team to allocate these same transactions across all the relevant entities in one single journal entry. Once all the related party transactions are posted to the correct books, Priya's team would look to prepare one set of consolidated financial statements for their entire organization to present to their board of directors, which they do monthly. This is a completely manual process that involves exporting each individual company's balance sheet, P&L, and cash flow statements into Excel, lining up the accounts, manually keying in the elimination entries to remove all the intercompany balances, and having multiple team members review the end-to-end process to catch any data entry errors. This monthly process was extremely onerous, especially considering Priya's team is always under major time constraints between closing the books and getting the consolidated financials out the door. And this is where IES comes in. With a click of her mouse, Priya is able to generate a complete set of consolidated financial statements that pull in all the relevant company's data and automatically post the elimination entries. With IES, Priya's finance manager can easily assign multiple dimensions at the line item level on transaction forms, which can then be leveraged to create P&L reports by location and property type, as well as create custom reports within IES that pivot location against property type. As the CFO, one of her most important mandates is managing the FP&A, and to that end, with IES, she's able to create an AI-powered P&L forecast leveraging the last 5 years' worth of financial performance at the line item level to project 2 years into the future. She can also assign a controller with edit access to go in and fine-tune the forecast and her finance manager with view-only access for a quick high-level review. She can then convert the forecast into a budget. Next, she can add notes to specific line items for her team and assign tasks to her finance team to review the budget and provide bottoms-up changes. Once all the changes have been made, she can initiate a formal approval process to have her CEO review and officially sign off on the budget. Now that the bottoms-up target is set, Priya can set aspirational profitability, sales, and expense goals, where she will be able to monitor performance over time, and if the goals are at risk, IES will provide a root cause analysis along with recommended actions her team can take to get closer in reaching the goal. IES also provides Priya's team with best-in-class accounts receivable or AR automation, where her project manager can generate an estimate and send it to their finance manager for approval. Once approved, the project manager is notified so they can send the approved estimate to their client, who can then virtually accept the terms with a click of a button, notifying the finance manager, who can then kick off the project and begin purchasing supplies. Once the project begins, Priya's AR manager converts the estimate into a payments-enabled invoice for 30% upfront payment, and then submits the invoice for approval, which gets routed to the finance manager. Once the finance manager approves the invoice, the AR manager is able to email it to their customer. The AR manager has also set up a reminder notification that automatically emails the customer 5 days before the invoice is due with a courtesy message that was handcrafted by Priya to ensure the appropriate tone. The customer is then easily able to pay the invoice virtually using their credit card on our payment rails, getting the cash into Priya's bank weeks earlier than if they had to wait for a check to arrive, and materially improving their cash flow. Now that cash flow is sorted, Priya needs to ensure that our accounting team follows accrual accounting and only recognizes revenue when it is earned, rather than when it is invoiced. To support this, she leverages the revenue recognition module, allowing her to set up a template that will automatically post the revenue to the GL on a straight line basis. Once the template is created, her team can apply it to the specific invoice so that even if their customer pays 30% upfront, only 10% actually hits the GL in the first month on a 10-month contract. The rest remain in a deferred revenue balance sheet account. As new projects kick off, Priya's project managers will typically need to begin ordering supplies by sending out purchase orders to their select vendors. But before the emails go out, Priya has created a workflow requiring a review and approval from her finance manager to ensure the terms are appropriate and within budget. Once approved, the project manager can distribute the PO, and once the AP manager receives the bill from the vendor and has it approved by the finance manager, they can also pay it using our IES Bill Pay. With IES role-based access control, Priya is able to designate her finance manager as the only user who can approve bills, her AP manager as the only user who can pay bills, and her controller as the only user who can create vendors, thereby ensuring strong separation of duties and internal controls to mitigate user error and fraud. Priya has a fairly large project management team. However, without the ability to control what they can see and do within QBO, she never felt comfortable giving them access and ended up having to put the administrative burden on the accounting team to manage the project finances within QBO. With the new project manager role, exclusive to IES, she will now be able to maintain strong controls around separation of duties, giving her the peace of mind that the project managers will not have access to any sensitive company information, allowing her team to effectively delegate duties to the appropriate staff, significantly improving overall efficiencies and ultimately increasing cash flow for the company. Now that Priya's project managers are actively engaging with IES, they can leverage the AI-powered project profitability monitoring to ensure that their respective projects stay on the right track. To do this, they simply set profitability goals for each project and will then immediately see when a project is at risk. They can then click into the widget to see a root cause analysis as well as a recommended action to take to mitigate the issue and get the project back on track. As Rising Building grows, managing their teams and hiring and retaining top talent becomes ever more challenging. This is why Priya was excited to use a robust human capital management solution in IES that covers the employee lifecycle. Users can run payroll, track time, manage teams, get support with HR questions, and extend benefits like 401k through Guideline and health benefits through Allstate. Rising Building's payroll manager is able to use a company switcher and go into each company with ease to run payroll and manage their teams, as opposed to logging in and out of different companies as would have been needed in the past. They are now able to allocate payroll costs by class and project, allowing for detailed breakdowns of labor costs in the P&L report, keeping projects profitable and saving hours in manual reporting and analysis. With the MailChimp integration, Priya's CMO is able to create targeted marketing campaigns based on IES customer data, behaviors, and transactions. By accessing their rich IES customer data, the CMO can set up automated campaigns to save time as their business grows, such as welcoming new subscribers or first-time buyers, re-engaging existing customers to ask for feedback or generate referrals, and send discounts or incentives to drive incremental sales. With MailChimp, the CMO can create personalized content faster with AI. She can build emails that are on brand with the correct look, tone, feel, and color with Creative Assistant. She can produce relevant industry-specific copy, like headlines, subheads, body copy, and others in a click through Intuit Assist AI technology.
All right, thank you guys so much for bearing with me and checking the video out. We have a few more minutes left. I see some great questions here, but I just want to take a minute and just kind of show you what we have. And hopefully this will help answer some of these questions that you guys may have. So as you can see, Intuit Enterprise Suite is powered by QuickBooks. You will notice Intuit Enterprise Suite in the upper left-hand corner rather than QuickBooks. When we talk about multiple entities, we're referring to the opportunity for a business to be able to see all of their separate entities in one place. And so if we were to click on this little drop-down switcher at the top, there are currently 2 entities associated for this particular company. You can have up to 50 in this drop-down, up to 50. If we go to the multi-entity tab here on the left-hand navigation bar, you will also get an opportunity to see your organization at a hierarchy level. So you have one parent company, which in this particular case, Keystone Construction is the parent company. And then each entity underneath it, which we would consider a child, would show here. And so for a very basic example, this is one parent with one child. You could have one parent with 49 children if needed. And so you'll have each QuickBooks Online or company ID, I guess you could say. It's an Intuit Enterprise Suite company ID, but you can have different company IDs associated with each entity. So they are basically all separate companies with their own bookkeeping, their own financial management service, but you can now do the consolidated reporting together. You can also access them quicker with utilizing the drop-down switcher in the top left. And so some of the other things that we've also, excuse me, we've also added is the ability to do intercompany eliminations. Currently at this time, they are automatic, subject to change, hopefully very, very soon. But essentially, intercompany transactions is absolutely doable in our Intuit Enterprise Suite company by simply selecting the accounts that you would like to utilize for each company in question. Creating intercompany journal entries is very easy and straightforward. You do have to create them through the parent account. I think, Lynn, no, you can't have anything with parent entity with children and grandchildren. It's just a one hierarchy. So one parent and then multiple children underneath. But that's a great question. Thank you so much for that. This was already an intercompany transaction that was already created. And for the sake of time, I just want to share with you what this looks like. So if we're looking at this from the parent perspective, this is the money that we basically allocated out of the parent and sent to the child. We wanted to move $4,000 worth of supplies from the parent to the child. And so if we were to open up the child company, we would see the flip side of this particular transaction. The benefit to having the spreadsheet sync tool would allow for you to do the multi-entity reporting where you can see all of it in one place. And then the same thing would go for the balance sheet. You would be able to see the multi-entity balance sheet as well, where those automatic eliminations will show. I'll also share with you the dimensions that are now available in Intuit Enterprise Suite. If we go to the gear icon in the upper right-hand corner, dimensions lives under lists. Think of this like class tracking on steroids. So you still have your class tracking available with unlimited values. So if I were to come into my class tracking here, which of course we don't have anything, that would just be too easy. But if we come into customer type, you can do customer types. So that's a dimension that was created within this particular example. You can do sub of subs. So you can do parent, child, grandchild, essentially. So you can do hierarchies within the dimensions. You can only create at this time 4 dimensions plus the class tracking list. So that's technically 5. And so if you wanted to create the different dimension types, if I were to go to create an invoice or an expense, rather than seeing these listed anywhere else on the actual invoice, it will all show up here in the product or service line item. So class, customer type, and job, again, those are based off of the dimensions that were created in this particular company. You can have up to 5. That allows for you to do profit and loss by dimensions, which will give you an opportunity to see from a reporting perspective the different breakouts of those dimensions. I know we are at time, but the final thing that I wanted to share with you guys is the project tracking with all of the new reports that we have available, as well as the change order management functionality, which I think is really, really cool. This gives an opportunity for folks to be able to say, hey, your estimate has now changed. Once it gets approved, those changes of the estimate will now show up as a change order. So if I were to go open an actual existing project right now, and again, this is a kitchen remodel that we're currently doing, you'll notice that there's an estimate here for $6,000 with a change order that's already been accepted for $2,000. So if I were to open up this estimate here, we'll see the change order that has happened directly on the line item as here. In this particular example, the customer wanted to add pendant lighting to their remodel, so that's going to add an additional $2,000 to their estimate. Once it's been accepted, it will show here. You can also subtract items on the change order as well if you're going to be making or modifying changes from that perspective. And then, like I mentioned earlier, because of these additions we've made, there are some additional reporting to the project tracking. I'll finalize with this. If you guys are interested in learning more about Intuit Enterprise Suites, highly, highly recommend that you go to intuit.com/enterprise to learn more and schedule a call with one of our representatives if you're interested in learning more and seeing if it's a good fit. I will say, brand new product, still got some updates coming, but not quite yet. So more to come on functionality perspective from this tool, but lots of cool things that we've got coming our way. So that is all I had to share with you guys. If a company has current multiple QBO, is it easy to move to Suite? Vicky, yes, it absolutely is. This is something that we can do. We consider it like an upgrade type, but we will not move people who are not a good fit. I just want to be very clear. So there will be a vetting process. There will be an opportunity to figure out, is this a good fit to move? We'll go through all of the pricing stuff. It's very customizable pricing, so I can't tell you what that is unless you go and schedule a call with one of our account managers. So that's all I had. Desktop to enterprise. Yes, Dawn, absolutely. You can move from QuickBooks Desktop to Intuit Enterprise Suites if needed. We do have implementation services that we can offer as well. If you would like to have help with that at an additional cost if needed. So lots of different things that could happen in that regard. So I'm so sorry I wasn't able to spend more time on that, but hopefully that gives you guys kind of an idea of where we're going with this new product. And Jeanette, thank you so much for letting me crash your party again.
Absolutely. Thank you, Leah. As you said, this was an incredibly meaty webinar. Thanks so much for sharing your expertise. Lots of great questions. Thanks everybody to all our attendees. If you want to continue this conversation, look into a demo. We do everything from cleanup bookkeeping to optimizations and integration. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at hello@outoftheboxtechnology.com. And with that, thanks everybody for joining, and we'll see you next time.